lost inside a dream. Here's the map that led me to that place, yellow desert screen. My Shangri-La beneath the summer moon, I will return again. Here is the dust that floats high into when the moving through Kashmir.
Mama, take this bath from me. I can't use it anymore. It's getting dark, too dark to see. Feels like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
Oh, let the sun beat down upon my face, stars to fill my dream. I am a traveler of both time and space, to be where I have been. Sit with elders of a gentle race, this world is seldom seen. Talk of days for which they sit and wait, all will be revealed. Talking songs from tongues of living grace, sounds caress my ear. Not a word I heard could I.
My name is Eunice Friesen, and it's an honor to be here today with Tony's family as you remember the life of the man you loved so much and who dearly loved you. As his obituary reads, Tony passed away unexpectedly at the Queen Elizabeth II Hospital in Grand Prairie at the age of 55 years. As we struggle to come to terms with his sudden passing, we remember the hard-working man who would give endlessly to others. From a young man operating heavy equipment to a pipeline supervisor and foreman, spending his years mentoring others, he was well respected by many. His love for nature and the outdoors kept him going as he worked within its beauty to support his family. Not only at work, as we've spent many days on the trails as a family in his beloved Jeep, exploring the rivers, mountains, and wildlife. If only he had more time to spend with his hobbies of fishing, hunting, and camping. Tony is survived by his wife of almost 12 years, Trudy, his children, Tiana, Michelle, Jeff, Tony, and Taylor. His stepchildren, Desiree and Serena, and his grandchildren, Alice, Skylar, and Jaden, and his mom, Beverly, as well as brothers Jerry and Joe. Tony was predeceased by his father, Orville. Welcome to everyone here today, as well as those who are watching the service online. I know that many of you have been in touch with Trudy already, and your support for her and the family in the coming days and weeks will mean a great deal to her. Tony's brother Joe is here to start us off. While he may not have known Tony the best anymore, He certainly has known him the longest. Joe?
Today, we are brought together to celebrate the life of an amazing man, Tony. It was 1980 when my father loaded us in a van and moved our family from Ontario to Alberta to be part of the booming oil patch industry. Several years later, the economy slowed. I moved back to Ontario with my parents, but Tony, along with my brother Jerry, stayed behind and decided to make Alberta his home. Tony loved everything this province had to offer. He enjoyed hunting, fishing, and spending time in the outdoors with his family. Tony was a true working man. He loved to work and was very dedicated to his profession. Our father was always amazed at his ability to learn, adapt, and excel in his field, and my parents were very proud of him for his achievements. The oil patch was his calling, and whether he was operating equipment or supervising a large project, he did it well. It seemed to come natural to him, and he was very well respected for his abilities and knowledge. Tony was a very kind and generous man. Over the years, he allowed many people into his home and gave them a place to stay, and shared his knowledge and his friendship, and gave them guidance and support to help them make it on their own. He would give anyone a chance and would help them any way possible. As a family man, Tony was a great husband, father, stepfather, and grandfather to his Western family. He was also a great son, brother, and uncle to his family from the East. He had a great sense of humor and loved to affectionately tease and joke around. In the last few years, Tony was plagued with health problems, but he never let it stop him from being the man he was. He recently told me his dream to escape the busy life and the ever-changing world we live in and take advantage of the solitude and the beauty Alberta has to offer. I think he would have thrived, and it's sad that he never had the chance to pursue his dream. I only wish my family and I could have seen him more often and spent more time with him, but the physical distance between us made that difficult. For those reasons, I hold on to the good times and the great memories he has left us with. So today, let's pay tribute to an amazing person and remember all the great things he's done for this world. Gone way too soon, but I know he'll be looking down on all of us, and we can take comfort in knowing he will always be part of us.
Thank you, Joe. Well, and pay tribute we will. I can only imagine how difficult it was to limit the number of people here today. And many tributes came in. But his girls wanted to, in particular, have me read a few things from them. From Trudy, my dear husband. Babe, there are so many things I wish I could have said to you before the day we lost you. I'd tell you how lucky I was to have a husband who loved me like you did. You always told me I was beautiful, even when I was at my worst. Every day you were home, every spare minute you had, you wanted me to be by your side no matter what we were doing. There was never a doubt as to how much you loved me. I will miss so many little things about you. The shuffle of your feet down the hallway every morning, the way you would randomly call out our names for no reason, and you didn't even realize you were doing it. Your ridiculous smile when you were trying to get reactions from people. The way you'd stare down cops with the same creepy smile as we drove past on our coffee drives. How you would give huge aggressive waves to random people we passed just to make them think, who the heck was that? Oh, and my favorite was every time we would go through the Timmy's drive-thru and the speaker had a Chinese accent, you would speak back in the same accent just to make us laugh and confuse them. I've never laughed so hard as I have with you. Life will never be the same or nearly as entertaining without you. We had so many plans for this year, this summer, this spring, this week. I only wish we could have had the chance to get there. Looking through all of our photos, I've realized how many great memories we've made with each other and with our children. Memories that are often forgotten during the bad times and ones that I will cherish forever. You are truly a great man, rough and tough as hell, with a heart of gold. You gave so much to so many and would never see anyone suffer if you could help it. Your influence on others spread so much further than I ever could have imagined. The world will never be truly the same without you. I will never be the same without you. You will live on through all of us who love you, and you will never be forgotten. It's your time to rest in peace, babe. I will love you always and forever until we meet again. Your loving wife. And from Desiree, who's unable to be here for today, but did send this. Tony was a man who had a hard time expressing how he felt through words. The more important and precious the emotion, all the harder to express. Honestly, I believe that to be something that he and I shared. As I grew to adulthood, it felt like something of an unspoken bond between us. We both knew that we loved each other without needing to say so much in words. He loved and cared for his family deeply, and the best way he knew how to express it was through his actions. When I was 11, Serena and I lost our dad to a work accident. We were so young. Tony and Mom had been dating for some time, but as I recall, the relationship was still fairly new by then. I remember how sad she was all day, and not knowing why, I spent the day with a dreadful feeling in the pit of my stomach. At the end of the day, when Tony came home from work, we all sat down in the living room together. Tony sat across from us as Mom told us the news. I don't remember the expression on her face as she told us, but I've never forgotten. I've never forgotten the look on his as he watched the effect the news had on us. That little family, Mom and her 2 little girls, suddenly missing such a huge part of us that could never be returned. Tony already had kids of his own, and honestly, I wouldn't have blamed him if the responsibility of what came next was too great for him to stick around for. 2 grieving little girls, too young to understand the loss and pain they were experiencing. But that's not the man he was. That day was perhaps, in my opinion, the greatest act of love for our little family. He stayed and chose to be a father to us. I grieved through most of my life, and especially through my childhood and teen years. Naturally, I didn't always get along perfectly with him growing up. It took me becoming an adult myself and starting my own life before I finally started to feel like I could understand how much he loved us and the ways in which he expressed that without needing to say the words. He worked a tough job with long hours and often had to spend weeks or even months away from his loved ones just to ensure that we always had enough good food to eat and a warm, safe home to live in. With enough to spare to treat his children when he came home to us. Even after I'd moved out and lived a province away, he still did what he could to include me in family vacations, even so far as to pay for my ticket when I couldn't afford it. Tony, Mom, and Tiana came to visit me one summer here in BC. We went to an air show together as a family, and that was one of the most exhilarating events I've ever been to. I was brimming with energy and excitement, and he was so surprised and delighted to see it. We spent a lot of time talking about the planes in the show, the displays, and the history. I think that was the first time we really had a conversation as adults and connected through shared interests that before then he'd never known I had. That's one of my most precious memories of him. Our family was big, and we weren't perfect, as no family is. But we loved each other dearly, no matter the ups and downs. As I look back, I remember most vividly the times we were all together, laughing and happy. He gave me the gift of a big, happy family together in a comfortable and safe home, where we had the room and encouragement and support to grow into ourselves. My own dreams for a big, happy family of my own are rooted in the childhood that he worked so hard to give us. I only wish I had a chance to tell him how much I appreciate everything he's done for us, and that even though he isn't my dad by birth, he is still my father, and I love him so much. I'll always miss him and the laughter he brought to our lives. Thank you for everything. And from Serena. Tony was the hardest working man I knew. He was a man's man. He had a tough exterior, but also the kindest heart and most generous soul. He would bend over backwards to help people. Anyone who knew Tony could see that. I was very lucky to be able to have him in my life, raising me as his own all these years. But it wasn't until I had Skylar that our relationship became even closer. The bond that the two of them shared was so strong. It brought out a side of Tony that I hadn't seen before. He had a soft spot for Skylar. He had all these plans he wanted to do with them and looked forward to raising him to be a man's man, just like Tony was. He would always joke around, saying, "He's ready for hunting season, hey?" He was blessed with 3 beautiful grandchildren, Skylar, Jaden, and Allie, and he was such a proud grandpa. We will forever remind all his grandchildren about their grandpa so his memory can live on. Tony will be greatly missed by many and always remembered. Rest in peace now. Love, your stepdaughter, Serena. And from his daughter, Tiana. Dear Dad, I might have had a hard time showing how much I loved and appreciated you. But at least I know you know now. When I talked to you for the last time in that hospital bed, I told you how much I loved you and how sorry I was that I didn't say it often enough, but that I would make you proud and live with your spirit inside me forever. You had a tear rolling down your cheek as I left the room. I know you heard me, and thank you. I'm sorry we can't clean out your Jeep and get it ready to sell like we planned, and use that money to buy a trailer or a boat so we could have the best summer of our lives. I know how excited you were to go on that hunting trip we talked about. I miss doing that with you. In fact, I miss so many things about you. I miss going fishing, going for late night drives and ordering Tim's in that stupid voice you make. I miss you staring down that copse with that same creepy smile and turning your head to follow them as they pass beside you. I miss you singing old songs in that annoying voice just to get a rise out of me. I miss you teaching me everything I know and being the best dad a daughter can ask for. I wish I had more time with you. You're the most hardworking man anyone here has met. Rest easy, Dad. I love you. Trudy also shared with me many tributes that have come in from people whose lives Tony touched. And in a few moments, I'm also going to ask anyone who's here if you'd like to come up and share some memories. This came in from Neil. Tony was a great man. I worked with him many years up in Rainbow Lake and had many laughs. Tony brought so much knowledge to the pipeline world and to my personal life during the time he worked for me in Rainbow. Tony always talked about Trudy and their family, and he was glad when he got to go home and spend more time with his family. He worked hard, but he found it hard to be away. I am sure there'll be pipe delay at your next stop as well, says Neil. And this is from Jason and the staff at ACOM in Rainbow Lake. Tony was a true gentleman in all facets of life and work. May he rest in peace. Willard says, "You taught me so much when I first started in the field. You were a great boss and mentor. The world lost a big, kind-hearted man, and he will be deeply missed by all those who knew him. Rest in peace, Tony." From Chad, "I'm so sorry for your family's loss. My heart goes out to you all. Tony was a very great man, and he will be dearly missed by everyone who knew him." Michael remembers, "Tony helped me with my personal problems. He took me under his wing at work and talked about Trudy and the grandson as we had our coffee. I will miss you, my dear friend and boss, a lot." From Delmer, At a loss for words, I considered Tony a good friend, and I'll miss our talks every couple of weeks. Tony was a man who wasn't afraid to voice his concerns and to stand up for important matters. That's from Robert. And from Kristen. Tony was hard on me at first, saying I'd never make it in the pipeline. But he saw my worth, and we became good friends. He was an amazing person, and I loved him. In this one, the sender acknowledges that his memory of Tony may not be appropriate. But I don't think we could properly celebrate Tony's life without a few inappropriate stories. So this is from Kirby. I remember being at your place, maybe downtown as I recall, and we were sitting in your backyard. Tony was saying he needed his pipes cleaned. I was like, "What pipes?" And he had to explain it to my naive self. Tony was a great man. And Val remembers that Tony was so kind and had a quiet strength about him, and he could wield a sprayer like a pro. I hope the happy memories and his family legacy brings you comfort. And from Talon. Tony will always be in our hearts and with us spiritually. My favorite memories with him were when we would drive down to the river and sit by it, throwing rocks and skipping them. I also remember going camping and helping him set up the tent and get wood and fishing in the lake. I loved the way he would start fires. His creativity always fascinated me. He had an amazing sense of humor, and if I'd had a bad day coming over, hearing a joke from him, no matter how much of a dad joke it was, always made me smile and laugh. I'll miss him a lot, but he's always with us in our memories. Fly high, Tony. I'd like to invite anyone who's here to come to the mic if you'd like and just share a few words or a few memories of Tony as well. I'll get that one, and there is an important one missing. I'll get that and read it right after the slideshow. Yes, thank you. So, oh, for sure.
Dad, I know neither of us were very present in each other's lives, but I knew if I needed you, you would be there. There's a lot of things that I wish I could change, but I know you wouldn't want any of us living with regret. But what I will do is make you proud as you watch over us. I thank you for giving me my amazing siblings, and I'm so thankful to be given the chance to be in each other's lives. Every time I think of you, I can hear your notorious laughs after your jokes. I would give anything to have been able to say goodbye to you, and I'm sorry that I could not.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone who sent tributes. And there was one that I missed that I'll bring back later. That was Tiana's, yeah? Which that was? So that was it. Thank you. My apologies for that. There's one more from his very good friend, Ernest, that I'd like to share. It has been heartbreaking losing Tony, and my heartfelt sympathies go out to each and every family member. He dearly loved his family and was devoted to caring for everyone. As a longtime friend, we shared a common love for outdoors and spent many hours at the river waiting for fish to bite. Tony loved splashing through the mud with his Jeep, driving through the bush on the back roads looking for animals. We were co-workers for many years on the pipelines, and he'll always be remembered for his skill and ability to get the job done. His leadership skills were respected, and he had a natural talent for training and mentoring new workers. His sometimes off-color, crude sense of humor always brought a smile or a laugh and helped a long workday go by much easier. With his passing, there is great loss, but there will always be memories that he has left for everyone to have and cherish forever. Goodbye, my dear friend.
When I was 6 years old, I broke my leg. And I was running from my brother and his friends, and tasted the sweet perfume of the mountain grass I rolled down. I was younger then. Take me back to when I found my heart, broke it, made friends and lost them through the years. And I've not seen the boring fields in so long. I know I've grown, but I can't wait to go home. I'm on my way. still remember these old country lanes when we did not know the answers. And I miss the way you make me feel. It's real. We watched the sunset over the castle lonely hill. Over the castle lonely hill. Over the castle lonely hill.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. See you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
See you again.
We've come a long way
Came a long way.
from where we began.
You know we started.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Tell you.
When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong. And what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken. The love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach. So remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you
there now? Where'd you go? You left me here so unexpected. You changed my life, I hope you know. 'Cause now I'm lost, so unprotected.
in the blink of an eye. I never got to say goodbye. Like a shooting star, flying across the room, so fast, so far. You were gone too soon. You're part of me, and I'll never be the same here without you. You were gone too soon. You were always there, like a shining light on my darkest days. You were there to guide me. Oh, I miss you now. I wish you could see just how much your memory will always mean to me. In the blink of an eye, I never got to say goodbye. Like a shooting star, flying across the room, so fast, so far. You were gone too soon. You're part of me, and I'll never be the same here without you. You were gone too soon. Shine on, shine on to a better place. Shine on, we'll never be the same. Shine on, like a shooting star, flying across the room, so fast, so far. You were gone too soon. You're part of me, and I'll never be the same here without you. You were gone too soon. You were gone too soon. You were gone too soon. You were gone too soon.
I've been reading books of old, the legends and the myths, Achilles and his gold, Hercules and his gifts, and Spider-Man's control, and Batman with his fists. And clearly I don't see myself upon that list. But she said, where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss, just something I can turn to, somebody I can kiss. I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this.
To hear these stories and look at the photos of Tony's life, we get a really good picture of the kind of man he was. And I noticed that while he possessed many qualities of character, there's a few I'd like to just quickly point out that really stood out to me, that I know you will each recognize. Tony was a comedian in his own right, always trying to get a laugh out of perfect strangers and friends and family. And sharing and creating memes was his latest entertainment. He enjoyed his work, he enjoyed his family, and he enjoyed his days off. This is enthusiasm at its finest. When we live with enthusiasm, we're excited by life and we're open to the wonders that each day holds. We do things wholeheartedly with zeal and eagerness, holding nothing back. We enjoy good humor, and probably sometimes bad humor. We live in the moment and we appreciate what we have, finding joy in simple pleasures. Enthusiasm helps us imagine what is possible, and it helps us follow our dreams with true joy. He was a man of enthusiasm. We often think of professionals as people in fancy offices. But here in Alberta, we know that sometimes the office is a muddy truck. Tony was this kind of professional. Professionalism is bringing excellence to your craft and providing service with confidence. When we're professional, we take initiative to find solutions. Professionalism gives people a sense of security, knowing that they are being treated fairly and that we're contributing with efficiency. Professionalism has us using our wisdom to add value to the lives of others. He was professional. And he was mentioned time and again as a great boss and a great colleague. But he stepped up personally as well, like he did when Trudy, Desiree, and Serena needed him most. Tony was a true leader. Leadership is having clear vision of purpose. The leader seeks to unite others, even under challenging circumstances. Leaders take responsibility for their actions and are willing to make sacrifices for the good of the team. With great leadership, all things can be made possible. More than anything, though, Tony's leadership was defined by his kindness. And this is what made him such a great mentor in the field and a great friend to all who knew him. Kindness is caring that springs from compassion. We have genuine concern for the welfare of others. We are warm, friendly, and ready to help. We listen for the needs beneath the words, and we give tender attention in simple ways that bring others happiness. Kindness is the daily bread of love. Tony loved you. Even as families grow and sometimes move apart, as perfectly imperfect families do, love remains. Love is at the center of our being. It's the vital force that gives us energy and direction. It's irresistible attraction and affection to a person, a place, an idea, or even for life itself. Nurtured by commitment and seasoned by his kindness, love was Tony's greatest gift. And just as you loved him, he gave freely of that love for each of you. As we part today, please take your time here and move about as you feel ready. Take care of each other in the coming days and weeks. Reach out to each other and don't be afraid to talk about Tony, to cry together, and to laugh together. I'd like to close with a paraphrase of Trudy's own words that you'll recognize from her letter to Tony. The world will never be truly the same without Tony. We will never be the same without him. He will live on through all of us who loved him, and he will never be forgotten. It's Tony's time to rest in peace. He will love you, always and forever, until you meet again.